Good evening, TCB. How are you guys doing tonight? Just tuning in. It's unanchored live. It's another great evening here. Going to be talking about some things. I actually have a special guest. I'm getting ready to bring her on now. Our topic tonight is actually going to be new single women within the lifestyle. So we actually have a very new member. She's a single female, and we're just going to kind of give her a hard time like we do normally. Just it's just gonna be a lot of fun. I think that it's gonna be a fun topic. I think that there's a lot of new single women within our group that could benefit from this conversation. I think that they could have great input. And of course, this young lady will also have great input because she's brilliant, smart, funny, uh, absolutely beautiful. Like she's a beautiful young girl. She takes me back to a time when, some of us Gen X people from the 90s, if you remember, Rebecca Gayheart from like the clean and clear commercials. She has like that perfect skin, and it's like, us old people know that. Oh, you kids like Greg won't have any clue who she is, but for those that would try to remember who she is, Rebecca Gayheart, she was the one that played. Okay, I'm gonna say a 90210 reference. The mobster's daughter that died and married to Dylan. That'll help you remember. So, but all jokes aside, yeah, I'm gonna be getting Kourtney on here shortly. It's been one of those days, I it's been a trying couple days. Someone very dear to me, her mom passed away, and it's really hard to watch somebody you care about go through that. It's been really trying. Been really, really trying. It's just been really, difficult. Um, you know, when you see somebody you love so much, and you have such a big heart towards it, it breaks your heart to see them suffer. And it's been really interesting, to say the least. And my heart goes out to that family. I love them very much. They're my own family, and they know who they are. So, all right. So, getting Miss Kourtney her link. See if she can sign into this bad boy. So, how's everybody doing tonight? And so I'm going to use this link. But yeah, I mean, it's been interesting couple days. We also got Greg's DJ date night coming up at Malloy's on the 23rd. Everybody pay attention to that. Take a deep good look at that, because that's gonna be a good time. It's a TCB special event. There, it's a vanilla setting, so guys, please behave yourself. Hey Paul, how are you? Hey, well, I'm glad it's your first time listening. It's great for you to listen. Tonight's topic, it's our 20th episode. Wow. I didn't think I've been doing that many episodes. It's about how new single women this generation are navigating through the lifestyle. Again, I'm no expert by this. This is just a round robin narrative, just so we can talk about it and go over these things. And I think that tells a lot. I said it tells a story. It gives a different perspective, and it, like I said, gives an open form of chit chat. So, but she'll be on in a couple minutes. She's scheduled at 8, and if she's is defined as I know she is, she will be here right at 8 on the money. But just, I want everybody, to have a good time tonight. You know, see what everybody's up to. It's been quiet. It's been a little quiet, you know. Haven't seen Miss Marisa floating on here. Wonder what she's up to. Is she in trouble? She's always in trouble. That's my girl, though. I haven't seen Greg get on here. But it's Jersey Shore night, so we probably won't see him. His douchebaggy self will be watching Jersey Shore instead of tuning into his best friend. The support is real, can't you tell? Can't you tell? So, oh, here we go. My guest is arriving. She's connecting to audio now. I was about to say, you better put that pretty face on so they all can see you.
Hey there.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I can, like I said, it's been a trying couple days, and like I said, it's really sad watching someone you really care about go through that. I was okay up until today when I seen my friend getting upset, like when I seen her cry, and I started crying. I was like, oh man, like no, don't do that. Like my heart's breaking,
It
because
starts, yeah.
yeah. So, but I thought it'd be a good vibe to keep going. Keep moving. And I know my friend would want me to do the same, and just keep going through that. So I want you to see. I met you just at this last event.
Yeah.
Past Miss CCB, Brittany strolled in with a beautiful arm piece, and I'm like, "Who is this young lady? You finally brought some great beauty into this group. What are you doing? The last couple knuckleheads you brought were knuckleheads." I was like, "How do you go from that to this?" So
Oh gosh.
yeah, we won't mention the name.
Yeah, so I'm Courtney. I've been in the lifestyle for I guess about a year and a half now.
Yeah.
Um, in it a little bit more times than others, but I've really enjoyed just the community that I've found and the friends that I've made, and um, it's been incredible, honestly. I'm every now and then I'm just like, wow, this is my life. That's kind of awesome.
And how old are you? I know I shouldn't ask a
28.
woman. 28.
No, that's fine. I'm
You
28.
you know you're only 2 years older than my oldest daughter, so
Am I?
yeah, it's like it's like Greg calls me Gucci Grandpa because my oldest daughter I have an 18-month-old grandson, and he calls me
Oh,
Gucci Grandpa. So it's like it's like God, like this next generation of young ladies coming in the group. I'm starting to like feel like I'm like really aging out. I'm like, God damn, I'm old. So
oh, I don't think so. You have many years.
I hope so. Shit. I hope it ain't time to call it quits yet. Excuse me.
No.
No, no, so what did you think of your first time seeing coming to a TCB event? Understanding the
Uh,
element.
yeah, it was really fun. I loved it. It felt very welcoming, and it was cool to meet a lot of women, some people that I've been wanting to meet for a while, just seeing in the groups. But it was cool. It felt very welcoming, and it was just a lot of fun. It was a really good vibe.
It's definitely a different element. It's not like yucking on anybody else's stuff that they do. It's just a different atmosphere. It's just a different energy. We pride ourselves on that, trying to, make a really good safe haven, for plus or curvy or even thick or whatever category, young women or women want to be placed in. It is a good forum for that. Uh, you know, I found that a lot of women, feel just really safe that they can explore these things, and you being a single woman, that's another reason why I really wanted you on, because now here you are, you're not like on the bigger plus side, you're a curvy girl. And I was like, okay, well, she's young, she's curvy, she's single, perfect. She's a good vibe. So what do you find to be the most difficult parts of being a single woman, besides being even a curvy girl? Just a single
Yeah.
woman in the lifestyle. What do you find?
Um, I mean, honestly, I was really glad that you had the podcast you did last time talking. Oh gosh, now I'm blanking on his name. What was his?
Elliot.
It was Elliot. Yeah, he
Yes.
seems very sweet. That was my first time really hearing from him, or getting to know him. But I think that single guys in lifestyle really get a bad rap.
Yeah, they
And
do.
there's a lot of misinformation.
Yes.
Um, I would also say sometimes it's the single guys that is sometimes the hardest, to be honest. And not even the single guys. I would just say disrespect in general.
Yeah.
That so take away single guys. I would say disrespect and like the assumption, people assuming and disrespect. Just yeah,
But yeah, but
and not
the thing
consent.
is, that's a big thing, because I think people like look at that as just generally a lifestyle thing, but I think this is like a human behavior thing. I think that we've lost our way.
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily just like a lifestyle thing, because people are out there doing the same behavior in a vanilla world.
No, 100%. 100%. I was like, oh, I'm not gonna date in a lifestyle. I'm gonna date. That was my thought. I'm like, I'm not gonna date in a lifestyle. I don't date in a lifestyle, and I have a really bad experience with somebody like not respecting boundaries and
Yeah.
honestly just yeah. And I'm just like, okay, all right, it's 100%. It's not a lifestyle thing. It's a human thing and
Yeah.
a world thing.
Yeah. So I mean, so you have dated in the lifestyle at least once? If you tried to?
Like I guess when I was saying dating, I was thinking like romantic dating.
Okay.
But yeah, like I definitely date in a lifestyle, and like go out and have fun with, different couples, and I've been with a few different guys like on dates, and it's always fun. It's yeah, a good time.
So are you bi or straight? Like, and again, if you don't want to
I'm
answer
bi.
that,
Yeah, yeah,
okay,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, I
Yeah, no,
got
I'm
it.
bi. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. All right, all right, all right.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. All right, all right, all right. So what is it what you normally look for? Or do you not really look for anything when you go to an event or anything like that? Or are you just like generally like I'm just gonna go with the flow and what happens for the evening happens? I mean, what is your vibe? Or do
Yeah.
you kind of like preset? Because some people like totally preset, like I'm gonna meet you, I'm gonna hang out, and if it works, then we'll fuck around and find out. Or, you're just like, I'm just gonna go and just be a free spirit. Like, which way do you?
Well, I think I think a little bit of not exactly planning, but oh, I know that well, like for the TCB event, I knew that there were some people there that I was looking forward to meet, one person in particular. And I'm like, I make sure I'm talking to them and like, hey, I'm looking forward to seeing you. And they were doing the same thing. And like kind of so putting the feelers out there beforehand and then following up there and just going with the flow.
What's great is that you're actually really not shy. You're actually, like you're very easy to speak to, and I seen that at the event. I was like, because a lot of time newer people when they come into this platform, especially younger single females, they kind
Yeah.
of like they kind of have that thing like because they don't know what they're gonna embark on, and you have a bit of a strength and a confidence there, which some of the other women don't. And I did notice that, and I was like, oh, okay. I was like, all right, she's gonna work her way through the crowd and be all right, all right. I don't have to peer and watch this one that she's not gonna get harassed, and
Yeah.
bothered.
I
So
I think that was something that right when I joined, it was definitely a little bit harder. But now, I mean, I don't typically go to events if I don't know a few people there at this point. I mean, obviously I had to get through that, but now I know I try to go to events when I know a few people there because it's nice to have those comforts and those anchors. And like if something goes wrong, I can go up to them. And I think that's nice too.
so what is your favorite kind of event? Are you like a house party girl? Are you a hotel girl? Are you a club girl? Are you a special events girl? What is your mat that you like to
It's a
draw
good
out?
question. I recently have been to all, and I think that all of them are super fun in their own ways. Uh, I'd say a house party though. I feel like it has the opportunity to be a little bit more chill and relaxed, and you can actually have a conversation. And then also people are doing fun things in the corner, and that's cool too.
Okay.
So
So,
it's
so,
yeah, a little
so
bit
do
of both.
you have any like set ground rules for yourself, like that you set like in your head? Like, look, we all know we have back here, like
Yeah,
I am not going to do this. I know my nasty ass can do this, but I'm not going to do this. You know what I'm talking about? Like, let's be real here. Like,
yeah, I
we're
do.
we're, we're having table talk. Like, come on. Like, there's like your nasty ass is not doing that tonight. Like, sit your and calm the fuck down. We're gonna go and be this way tonight. So do you have your ground rules? Do you have your normal ground rules that you have to?
Maybe I should. Maybe this is like an intervention right now, but not really. I usually when I'm overcome with things, it's usually making out with hot women, and I'm always game for that, you know?
Damn.
So,
Okay.
well, not always, but I mean, if I'm going to an event and I'm not gonna stop myself from doing that, you know? I'm gonna let myself enjoy that.
So what is your definition of a hot woman
Oh, I don't know if there is a
for you? What
my
is your
definition,
what is your
my
speed?
personal definition.
Yeah.
Um, Fun, energetic, and just bubbly. That's usually what I go for. And also an ass. I like an ass.
You
I
like an
mean,
ass. See, I'm
I'm
a
human.
titty man. I
Are you?
love, oh my Lord. Look, the joke is so, Tammy and I have known each other since we were 8 and 10. We've known each other since elementary school. And
Oh
when we
wow.
yes, and when we first met, I chased her around the schoolyard, and I used to tell her, I was like, what's worse than a hurricane? She was like, what? And I would titty twister. So and she told everybody when we got married, she goes, I married the titty twister. That is the going joke because I've been
Oh wow.
into boobs all my life. So this is what happens when your mothers don't breastfeed. See what
I
happens? You're
guess.
you're depraved. You got to play with boobs.
I
So
guess I was breastfed then. I don't know. I
yeah,
boobs are great. Don't get me wrong. I love boobs.
right.
I'm just an ass girl, I guess.
Yeah, ask girl. There we go. All right. Well, it's funny that that you say that because most bi women that I've ever encountered are actually boob and kissing and like caressing this area. You're one of the few that I've heard say, "Hey, I like a good ass."
Well, if I'm caressing, it's definitely going to be the face and very sensual, but
Right, right.
I like butts. I also like butts. I yeah.
So what has been your best lifestyle experience then right now? Come on, be honest.
Um,
You don't have to give names. Just be a smut. It's okay.
um, I definitely, I mean, definitely the all girl orgy. You can't, I haven't topped that yet. That was awesome. That was awesome.
Define how many is all girl. Like, is
Well,
it like
well, okay. So there were four, it was me and three other women. Yeah. So four.
we still
Could
counting?
have been bigger, right?
Could have been bigger.
It was impromptu. It was at the K pool and at the corral, and we were just all having fun and just, enjoying the weather. And we started kissing, and one thing led to another, and it was really nice.
I like it. So, do you do the all
Yeah.
nude pool thing? Are you confident and comfortable with that?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I love it.
that was uh, when I actually so when I joined the lifestyle, I was leaving a relationship, and they kind of intersected one and the other. Um, Meaning when I joined the lifestyle, it was because I was leaving a relationship,
Okay.
because it was just there was a lot I realized that I needed and wanted. Um, So, and one of the reasons that is because I wanted to be able to swim nude, and I was becoming more comfortable and confident in myself. And that's not something he was okay with. And nude is like one of my favorite things. It's just so freeing, and I love it.
So do you go to like any like the nudist things, like the what is that, Sunny Rest or whatever it is? You do, you know?
No, I haven't yet. I think I'm not that, I don't know. I think I would be a
You're
little
not that
nervous to
confident
do.
yet? Yeah.
No,
No,
no, no. It's
no.
fun though.
Uh,
No, I
well,
I can walk to the pool and get in it.
okay. Well, you know what though? I'm glad to see that there's some confidence there because that's a tell story. Like that tells you a story. I mean, and I don't know if you've been curvy or all your life, and kind of like the premises of what we created this group, because a lot of women have went into spaces where like even just like proms and things like that. A lot of these women didn't have these things because they lacked the confidence or they didn't have the opportunities, and that's what kind of TCB was forged on, these opportunities to do things you never
Yeah.
did, photo shoots and stuff like that. We were doing photo shoots and we did that 13 years ago, 12 years ago, literally in the corner of a bar. We used pipe and drape, and we were doing like photo shoots before it was like a thing. Like everybody was
Oh, I
like
love
doing
that.
them all. Yeah. And it originally was like called a tribute to Playboy Plus, which they did. Playboy at that time was doing just like a plus size issue once a year, something like that.
Mm,
And then we end up transforming that into what we called as cover girls, which is we did that event once a year where we turned all the girls into cover girls. We had like a miniature photo shoot at the event. It was included in your admission.
mm,
And then I transfer and work with graphics artists, and we made you an actual cover. We custom did a magazine cover and just made you a cover girl. Just doing things like that. And we did the calendar once, and we just do a lot of special things. And of course the Miss TCB pageant, which is it's
yeah.
very pageantry. I know you haven't been around. I don't think you were in the group during when Mo won. But I mean, you know who
Mm-mm.
Marisa is, and of course Brittany, so, or Bailey, as most of the people know her as. But I mean, that's a whole thing. I put those girls through it. This isn't like, and this doesn't take away any of what the clubs do when I say this. This isn't a striptease contest. This isn't a lap dance contest. I make you think, and I make you use your brain and your heart. And we do like the questionnaire, and like some of these girls that they say stuff like the fucking questionnaire. Like some people quit because when they read the questionnaire and they go through like these 50 questions and they're scored, it makes you ask questions about yourself, and it makes you like really dig
Yeah.
deep, really dig deep. And some of them can't take it because they're like, I'm not anywhere near ready for anything like this. And
Wow.
Danielle, who was Miss TCB before Bailey, she said, the first year I ran, you really hammered me on the questionnaire, like your rebuttal. You were like, you fucking phoned it in. It was a bullshit answer. She goes, you crucified me on the reply back.
Wow.
And she goes, but then I went back after when Bailey won. She goes, I went back and redid the questionnaire 10 months later in a different space after being Miss TCB, and I answered everything differently. She goes, and I
Hmm.
seen what you were when I compared after I answered it all again, like just freely. it's just a different space. She goes, I'm a different woman now. And, you know, Bailey says that herself. You know, she's another one of those individuals like I am. And she's not the same woman that she was when she first came into the group. Marisa, literally this, you know, a week or so ago, she's been in the group 1 year. 1 year. And within months, she became Miss TCB. And right now, on paper, she's the most successful Miss TCB at all of them. So there's growth from these things, and that's why we create what we create. You know, and I'm glad that you're here because I think that you could see the benefits of that. Stephen Charles says hello. Kealia says hello. You got everybody coming on. I mean, I don't know if you can see them on your Facebook chat too. So you
No, I
can, you
don't think
can.
so. But
Okay,
hi.
it's all right. I'll tell them you said hi. So what are some things that you would change about being a single woman like that? What do you think that you would want to see differently?
What would I want to see differently?
Yes.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not sure how to answer that one. I
Okay, that's
think I
okay.
think it's what
There
you
is no
make it.
wrong. There's no wrong answer. Like anything that I ask you, just so
Yeah.
we're clear, you know, this is just a perspective because like this whole premises of this evening is to see how a new single woman navigates through, you know, and with you being newer
Yeah.
and you're I mean, you're getting into your sophomore years, the best way to put it. You found a comfort space and you're learning what you like, but what don't you really like? And you've named a couple things. What has triggered you to not like certain things? And like I said, I told you I was going to hit you with some questions that were, you know, that were going to make you kind of be transparent. And people love that. Just so you
Yeah.
know, there is no wrong answer here. No one's going to get like, oh, I can't believe you know, said that or blah blah blah. You won't get that. So what do you think? Is there
Well, thank
something
you. I
that
appreciate that.
yeah, it's safe space here. Promise. So
Thanks.
I just want to see like, you know, like what caused you to dislike certain things. Was there a specific moment? Was there a specific thing?
In the lifestyle
Yeah,
since joining or
yeah.
prior to that?
Yep. Look.
Yeah, definitely.
So tell me
Sorry,
an
what was that?
experience. So give me the experience that happened. You don't have to give names or nothing like that. Just tell your story. Tell your story that so people can understand. Because yeah, I know that this is hard. I know when I do this, people are like, man, I really don't want to talk about this. But you kind of have to because someone could be relying on you to be transparent. Again, we ask no one to use names, and if it's something you don't really want to share, if it's that uncomfortable, I totally understand. But like, I just want to know what because when you said it earlier, you got this look on your face, and that's telling to me. And being in this business and kind of being like the cooler to an event and seeing like telltale signs. I know body languages and facial expressions. So when you said the consent thing, your eyes changed. So that's where I'm headed. So I'm trying to, you know, as a single female,
Yeah.
some of these women may relate to you in this moment and your story may be important. So
Well, thanks. Yeah, um I would definitely say more than one instance of that, but one that is pretty prominent in my mind is somebody uh that I got close to pretty quickly when joining the lifestyle. They're one of the first people I've met. And I had a lot of trust in that person. And they it just repeatedly like we would be at an event and they would grab my breast without with like we're not kissing, there's nothing happening, and then they lifted up my dress at one point when I was at a house party, which was not a house party, it was like a game night. So just
cringy,
repeatedly things. Yes, yeah, like repeatedly things
cringy
that are like,
shit.
what is happening right now? Like I don't. And then they pulled the, oh, I thought you gave me blanket consent, and it gets confusing in the lifestyle. Like, maybe, yeah, let's not do that. Let's not
I,
do that.
I did a live on that a couple weeks back about consent and how the to debunk the gray area. There is no fucking gray area. There is no
I love that.
blanket consent. There's no fucking gray area. I get so sick of that. But there's a gray area. There's yes. There's fucking no. There
Hell
is
yeah.
may I, and there's not saying nothing. until you ask that question, may I? It's always no. It's the answer is always no until they say yes. And that even gets into like I said before about alcohol, and when people are saying things like, "Oh, I need a drink to calm my nerves." Hold up, you're that fucked up where you need a drink to calm the hell down to sleep with me? That if you're 2 drinks in and can't drive a car, you're not driving my stick shift. You understand what I'm saying? If you're inebriated
Mhm.
not to operate that heavy equipment, you're not operating mine. You understand what I'm saying? So that's where I get in
Definitely.
that. I get in that. It's like I said, there's no gray area. There is consent, coherent consent, or it's always no. So I totally get what you're saying. There's a lot of that. Oh well, we played before. I thought it was okay.
Yeah. Or we
Uh,
had a conversation online and we
or
spoke.
we talked real heavy, and you sent me your titty picture. I thought that when I seen them, I could touch them. No, no, I
Yeah.
post my titties all day long online. That doesn't mean that you come up and fucking touch them. Like
Yeah.
so. No, I appreciate you sharing that. I know that sometimes disclosing those things is kind of like and you don't want to harm anybody, and some people are just ignorant. They don't mean harm, but they're just ignorant. So,
Yeah.
um, so your favorite was the girl orgy. So what is your dream lifestyle play? What is on your bucket list that you haven't done yet?
Ooh. Well, I heard in your podcast yesterday, which I thought was not yesterday, I listened to it yesterday with
Uh-oh.
Elliot, your last podcast, you were talking about um you were talking about how you're like, I feel like there should like be a bit of a separation between like lifestyle and BDSM. So I would have probably said BDSM stuff because that's not I haven't really experienced kink and that's something I'd like to experience.
Well,
But
and when I said that, that doesn't mean that that's for everyone. If people can balance that, that's fine. I was just saying that from my perspective. Some people take when I say things, they're like, "Oh, Brian said it, it's the fucking gospel." No, it's just a personal,
yeah,
So just remember when
it's
I
for
said
you.
that. Yeah. So no, I
And
mean
I
it.
think it's probably for me. Like I think that that's something that I would probably want to be one on one and a different sort of dynamic than the lifestyle.
Right.
What the lifestyle is for me. So I'd say like a dark room. I've seen that a lot recently.
Oh, okay. All right.
Like where the room's dark and you potentially know who's in there and you maybe know who they are and you're familiar with them.
See, that
But
gets into that consent shit, man. That see
and
that.
that's so I know, and that's hard. I've seen like it like with like glow sticks or like you
Yeah.
only go into what you're
I
okay with.
No, no, no.
And
I get that. I get what
yeah.
you're saying.
So, but I agree. I think that's touchy.
Well, like when I started this years ago, I went to a key party. I will tell you, I'm so glad that whole concept has been abolished per se. When you reach into a basket and grab a key, and then there's an unknown female in a room.
Oh wow.
I,
Oh
I,
wow.
let's just say I proudly walked out and said, "No, somebody else can have his key." Because,
And maybe that's for some people and that's cool, but yeah,
you
I
know,
don't I'd want
yeah.
to have a like yeah. Yep.
Bill says hello. Bill Kahn. He says hello.
Hey Bill.
His ass is supposed to be on my cast sooner or later, but he always seems to find some excuse not to show up.
Oh really? I'll get on
Yeah,
him.
yeah, you do that. You hear that, Bill? He says sensory deprivation. Oh boy, my glasses. I'm getting used to these. They're the transitional ones, so I don't have to have the
Oh
bifocals and look
nice.
like an old man. So I'm like, when you see me over here, I'm trying to read between the top and bottom. I'm a mess. What can I say?
I didn't
So
notice. You're fine.
yeah, yeah, okay. Well, now that I pointed out when you see me rocking my head, you know what's going on over here. I'm not jamming. I
All
promise.
right.
So, so what? So your boobs and butts and whatever. But like, what is your ideal woman? Like, what does she look like? Like, when you see her, is there a specific? Is she a blonde? Is she a brunette? Is she a redhead? Is she blue eyes,
Uh
green eyes? Like, do you have a preference?
I honestly I think it's I think it's more personality and being able to be fun and bubbly and just complete. I'm really attracted to people who are authentically them.
Okay.
So I think it's probably more that, but I apparently have a thing for redheads.
Guil-
And
guilty.
I like, I
Guilty.
don't know, guilty. Oh well,
Yeah,
I
I married the
I think
redhead.
I didn't realize that.
You didn't realize that?
Yes,
You didn't realize?
yeah.
Oh wow. No,
I
Tan
didn't
the
realize
first.
I knew you were married too. I didn't realize that I had a thing for redheads, but
Oh, okay. I was gonna say,
apparently I
oh,
do.
so no.
Um, I, I think I'm also attracted to a curvier woman, a larger woman.
You know, it's really funny, and this is just a personal perspective when we talk about that. I've always been attracted to curvier girls. I've never been attracted to
Mm.
slender women. Never. As far back as I remember, never. And as I got older, I even started to realize that curvier girls, like I always considered them womanly. And then when I look at
Mm.
skinny women, my daughters are beanholes like me. So it's like I always look at like skinny women like, and this is not a negative comment, folks. Please don't take it when I say childlike, I just their bodies, like it, it's kind of like muscle memory, like, oh, well, you look like my daughter, so that's not attractive to me. So you know what I mean? Like I don't sexualize my daughter,
Sure, yeah.
so so like I
No.
can't sexualize you. So sorry, it just doesn't work. You're absolutely beautiful. You are a beautiful woman, but you still look like you're 12. Not joking. So so I mean, but that's a thing for me. Stephen Charles says I like them thick. I'm sure he did it with his Donald Trump thick.
Thick.
Thick. But no, so so what is your go-to club? The Corral? Is that your favorite place to go?
Yes. I guess I'm closer to TJ's, but the corral's my go-to for sure. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good. Good.
Yeah.
So who's like in your friend circle? Who's your little clique of friends? And everyone's like, don't say clique. We all have our cliques. Let's be real. So
We all
who's
have our
your
groups for
yeah? Who we
sure.
gravitate to?
Um,
So who's in your circle?
what? Who's in my circle? Like names? Um, Ruth and Fran and
Freeze up on?
going more with the CCB group, but I don't think I have a bunch
Oh, okay.
of women. But I'd say that's like my very close, but then there's a bunch of others. There's Sam and I feel like Melissa. Just I don't know,
Yes,
local
yeah.
people in
No, but that's
Harrisburg.
but that's okay. But that's okay. Like, because that way, like if people want to know you and they know who you're affiliated with, it's kind of, easier to have somebody that's that medium. And people are like, why do you do that? I'm like,
Sure.
because sometimes people don't have that confidence to say, hey, I wanted to go up and speak to her, but I don't know her, and she's gonna think I'm some creep. So maybe there's somebody that knows one of those names and say, oh, okay, hey, is it okay if I reach out to her? Can you kind of be a connection between the two? Just to build, relationships. And that's the thing. Marissa's
Yeah.
on it. She says, hello.
Hello.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of, what we do. And so is there anything that you want to share with anybody?
Anything specific I want to share
Yeah. Is there
with
anything of
like,
the group in a whole?
oh gosh. I mean, I'm happy to share whatever. I don't know. I live in Harrisburg. I have two cats. I live in a little studio apartment that I love in Midtown.
Okay.
Um,
What do you do for a living, if you don't
I have a
mind me
job I
asking?
love. I work nonprofit.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I work nonprofit. I work in media. I'm used to being on the other end of this. I do podcasts a little bit and videos and
Great.
yeah,
Great.
event planning some.
Okay. Well, I might have to like cue in and get a little help from you. Like, hey, what the hell am I doing wrong here? Help me out.
I don't
I'm
know. I don't know. I think you're look at your setup. I think you're the pro here.
shit, girl. Come on. Like, I'm a professional fucker upper. Okay. I'm a professional fucker upper. So
Oh my God.
I just
Same,
make I just make it I
honestly.
just
It's
make it
been
look
a
good. What's the old saying? Fake it till you make it. So, but yeah. No, like I said, this meeting tonight was just really to kind of introduce, like, single women. I have some other single women. I'll have Morgan coming on soon. Cochran.
oh yeah.
stunningly beautiful young lady too. I just want you guys to have a voice because it's so weird for the singles, and the lifestyle is really filling up with more singles than it is couples. And I think that
Wow.
they're having a really hard time, not necessarily you, but just a lot of them are having a hard time finding their way through. And I feel a sense of responsibility to kind of, you know, find that medium for them. And I mean, so are you currently just looking just for female playmates, or are you looking for male playmates?
Yeah, I'd say both for sure. Male, female,
Okay, so
whatever
so
in
so you
between.
whatever. Okay, so you described your ideal female. So what is your ideal male? All right, guys, calm the fuck down. She's gonna say something important here. All right, so
Um, I like all types, same with women, but I'd say that I gravitate towards a larger, broader, stockier man for sure.
okay, there you go. So she likes you
But
she
yeah,
likes you trucker bear guys. Look out, here she comes. Look,
I
my
do.
wife too. Look, my wife too. Don't let her fool you. I'm the only slender man that she's ever been with. Okay, all right. She just says I'm just too pretty to let go. Don't let her fool you. So,
Not wrong.
so, but no, I just think that that it's just really good that we talk about, how you and your perspective. Um, what is the one perspective that you have of couples, how they approach you? Like, what is your perspective of
Mm.
that? Because there's couples that like sing the unicorn, that kind of thing. What is your perspective of that? Like, how do you feel about that?
Again, I think it's 100% all in how you do it. Uh, I like have respect when you do it, you know?
Okay.
And I I guess it comes down to when when a couple makes you feel as though you're there just for them. And you're not really, you're just an entity. You're not a human. And like
It's
I'm
so
just like,
funny.
what's happening here, guys?
It's so funny you say that because like there's so many things that I get cringy about, and that's one of them. Like you're not a toy, you're not a possession.
Yeah.
You're an individual.
Possessiveness.
Uh, well, I mean, and
Yeah.
that was another reason. Like not this particular thing, but like the reason I created TCB was that it was more about her plus size stuff, like being treated as a human. Tammy would go to things and people would be like, "Oh, well, you'll do," and she'd be like, "I'll fucking do." Motherfucker, I ain't fucking you. Just because I'm the only last girl here that nobody chose,
Wow.
don't mean it. But so she didn't like. She was like, "This is really turning me off." Like it really turned her off of the lifestyle in the beginning because
Yeah.
that whole disrespect of people were, not just about being a single person that's possession, but like that whole, oh, because you're a person that nobody else wants will settle for you. That's not okay. Like and it goes hand in hand with that. I know it's not the same topic, but I mean it made me think of that. It made me think of, the struggles that you girls go through. Um, so speaking of the troubles that you girls go through, all right, what is the things that you struggle for in the mirror that drive you crazy? Come on, give it to me.
Oh, did I struggle in the
In
mirror?
the
Oh
mirror,
God.
here we go.
It changed recently.
Okay.
And I used to hate a lot of things. I mean I still do, who doesn't? I'd say for sure my arms.
Okay.
Really dislike my arms, but I used to not go outside without a jacket on, and now I do, so yay me. Um uh definitely my arms, my chin. Mm, lots of other things, I would say. But mostly those. I'd say my arms and my stomach are probably my big ones, and my chin,
Well,
for sure.
the reason I say that because when you do vulnerable comments like that, so many women relate to you. Bailey will tell you, she was so pissed at me last June. I'll tell you, she was pissed at me. She was Miss TCB, and we did this photo shoot, and she was in bra and panties, and one of her biggest things is her tummy. And
Yeah.
and she was like, I fucking hate that picture. I was like, just trust me. Watch what happens when I post this picture. She's like, you better not fucking post that picture. I was like, you just gotta trust me. Just give me a shot. Just give me a shot. If it turns sour, I'll pull it, whatever. She posted that motherfucker, and it had the most reviews at it, any post she ever had, and they were all like, Oh my God, thank you so much. Like
Yeah,
you've given us like girls all start posting them. Tummy showing, the little side little rolls there, whatever. They were all like,
that's hot. I love that.
me too. I love that shit. Like, like right there,
Oh,
right
ah,
there,
love it.
all day long, all day long. I'll walk
So
by and grab
great.
Tam and she's like, can you not do that? Well, I sing to her. I say to her, because she calls it her muffin top. And I'll say, have you seen the Muffin Man? And I sing the Muffin Man song to her. And she gets so pissed at me. She's like, motherfucker. And I'm like, have you seen the Muffin Man? And she's like, get away from me. But I mean, but that's our camaraderie. That's how we play, and we're loose and
Yeah.
funny like that. I mean, I'm sure if somebody else did that, she'd probably do the backhand from hell. Yeah, you're worried about some guy walking up grabbing your boob. Let him come and grab your muffin and sing the Muffin
Oh
Man song.
God. Uh-uh.
It'd be an MMA fight there, right in the.
Honestly,
It's
yeah.
like, oh shit, she just beat the
Those aren't
brakes
words
off.
coming out. No.
Right. So, but no, I think that, you know, I'm sure when you answer me, she's like, man, I can't believe you just asked me that. I can't believe, I'm answering these weird ass questions. It really shows who you are. And I kind of seen that in you from just a few times that, we talked and everything. I was like, she's got a good vibe. And I think that people really relate to her, even with her being younger than a lot of the members, she's got a good energy. And I think that people will respect that and, relate to her in every possible way. I see that a lot. I've seen that about Marisa. Marisa's in my age camp, but and then Bailey's in your age camp.
Yeah.
She's there, and a lot of people relate to you girls for the same things. You guys are in a different spectrum of ages, but you guys go through the same things. You guys have the same battles in the mirror. You guys have the same headspace. Like I really hate this dress on me today because I
Mm,
just hate it, and like time to put the sweats on. And Tammy does that. I mean, here's Tammy who she's literally one of the most renowned women that in the community. I mean, she wears gowns and all these gorgeous dresses and all that stuff, and people see her and she's like, look, I fight that mirror just like you do every day, and there's no harder critic than yourself. And I have to learn even every day. I have to reteach myself every day when I say, Tam, you look fine. Tam, you look good. It really doesn't give a flying fuck what I say, because I mean,
yeah.
I mean, no matter, I mean, my
Internal.
reassurance is great. Don't get me wrong, but it's something that she has to process through and find her triumphs. And there's days she finds triumphs, and then there's days she don't. And you know, it, that's a lot of like what I like about doing this podcast and like speaking to you ladies and even the guys too. The guys go through it also. Elliot was
Mm.
spot on with some of his parts that he was discussing. Like he goes, I hate looking in the mirror sometimes. He goes, I hate, like and I was transparent, like, look, people are like, oh, you're slender and thin, Brian. I'm like, yeah, but like that doesn't necessarily mean that I don't look in the mirror and go, I got a thyroid condition that I can't even put weight on. It
Mm.
just burns the weight right. I'm just I'm so hyper and it's it. What's going to happen is when I'll hit 50 and then it'll reverse and then I'll be a bigger man. I'll be sit here and be overweight and I'll be able to get it off. And I'll be in the Ozempic crowd. So, but no, I mean, so when you watched some of the podcasts, what was some of the things that you enjoyed the most? Did you watch just a few, or did you just watch one, or did you, what was your
Just that one so far. Just that one
okay.
so far. And I caught some of Bailey's that she did, but I know that was a live, so that was different. But
Yeah,
yeah, I liked that you talked about men because I think that they get forgotten a lot.
they do.
Um, and I think that was really important and shedding light on the fact that not that it's not all single guys and that they really do get a bad rap. Um,
Y-
and
You
I like
know,
that you talked about consent just from our conversation here. I'm going to go listen to that one. I think it's going to be a good one.
that's a really good one. And what's so funny? What started that conversation? I actually was talking to my daughters and my son about that. That's what started that. And I'm actually going to be doing a podcast with my daughter who's 19
Wow.
shortly. And people are like, oh my God. I'm like, look, my daughter, we couldn't hide that the lifestyle stuff here. I mean, I got boxes with TCB's name on it. You Google our address and the branding and Tammy's, thong wearing ass is, if you see a Google picture, it's Tammy's butt. I mean, like there's nothing, we really couldn't hide it. so we were really clear with them. We didn't like give them details like, hey, this is what we do. We just say this is our private life.
Yeah.
This is what we do as an extracurricular thing. It's something that we do to explore in our marriage. And so she's in college, and she had this English report to do, and it was like topics of like they were like taboo topics, and everything from abortion to everything else. And she didn't like any of the topics that the teacher was presenting. And she came home and she's like, Dad, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, how about doing the lifestyle? She was like, they're gonna freak out. I'm like, yeah, but you got enough data here between me and Miss Donna. You can interview both of us, and
Yeah.
the data will be on
And how
fire.
interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we could do it from two different perspectives because Miss Donna has the club and we have a group, and our group is kind of like a specialty group that caters to plus size women, and then Donna's is it's just general lifestyle club. And even though that she knew about stuff, she and I did an interview. It was like 3 hours. Like she grilled me. I mean, like, holy shit, this is an English assignment? Like, god damn. I'm like, you put the hot light on me, and I felt like I was like sweating. I'm like, officer, please. You know,
Wow.
but she asked questions, and like there were some questions like that I wouldn't say I was uncomfortable with, because I'm not uncomfortable speaking to my children about anything. Like I'm very, very honest with them. They'll tell you that, like, you know, and but she looks at everything really different now. With a more mature mindset, still being 19. And she was like, Dad, this is really wild. Not like in a taboo, gross way, but she was like, I just had a gross misconception. I said, most people do. Most people do. It's like you don't walk in, it's not some nasty stank orgy on the floor of naked people. I'm like, I'm sure you could probably find something like that. I said, but the circles that we run in, it's really not like that. It's not that kind
Yeah.
of thing. And I said, it's literally a lot of fellowship, it's a lot of friendships. And I said, and I was trying, and she met people at this service yesterday that because she went to see a friend of ours, and she's seen people that were in the group that were there, and she was like, they were like, oh my God, your mom and dad don't do anything. They're like literally the consummate professionals. They're literally like, just they don't play. They provide a service, and they provide a space, and they just literally it's stand on business.
Hmm.
And she was like, really? And they were like, your mom and dad are like kind of like the parents of the whole thing. They really take care of everybody. They're like, it's literally the safest space we've ever been. And so as she's learning these details, um, I, I'm impressed how she's retaining it. And so I really want to kind of do an interview with her where she's very vanilla. She don't want nothing to do with the lifestyle. She's like, that's not me. She was like, no, 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 no. And
Sure.
and I did a podcast about if you see my YouTube, there's also one on how 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 we respond to our children being in the lifestyle. That's on there too. Um,
Hmm.
you know, I only have a few recent on YouTube because I just recently got approved to go onto YouTube. Podbean has all will have all 20 of my tonight. It's 19 on there now. It'll be 20 tonight. On there. So if you ever just want to listen to them, Podbean has all the originals too. There's a couple really good ones on there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I did catch one with Donna too. That one was interesting.
That well, and let me tell you something. Like Donna and I can go like because
Mm.
she really is my sister. Like by all means, like people are like, oh, we know you and Donna. No, never, never. I was adjusting a picture for her, and because I do graphic design, and she wanted something removed out of it, and the way it was set, like it made her boob look funny. So I said, look, this is the first time I ever play with your boob and the last, okay? And I mean, and she cracked up laughing because I had to like adjust her boob, and she goes, you made my boobs look a little bigger. I'm like, don't complain. I'm like, man, I'm like, I give you bigger titties and everything, and but that's our relationship. She's very dear to me. I love her with my whole heart. She really is my sister in every possible way. Tony, her husband Tony's like a brother to me. They're my family. Adrian, her 19th birthday, I mean her 19th her graduation party was at Donna's house.
Mm.
It's just we just have that relationship. But there's some really good topics on there. I think that if you're just looking for information and fun and critique me
Yeah,
and
definitely.
bust my ass over things that I shouldn't do, I'm game. I love it. I love it. But
All right,
nah,
good.
yeah, yeah. So when I circle back, I meant to ask you about the BDSM thing. So what were you looking for in a BDSM thing? Was it like the dom and sir? Was it the impact play? Was it just the hot wax? Was it the fire cupping? Is there something that in particular that you were looking for, or just all the above?
Yes, yes. I I feel like I've always been kind of kinky and interested in it, and always been naturally more submissive, but not really ever been able to experience that. So yeah, I'd say being able to experience subspace and impact play and fire and
Okay.
all the above, I would say, yeah.
So did you have any lifestyle experiences before you actually entered the lifestyle?
College roommate found out, well, didn't find out because I didn't apparently realize until I joined the lifestyle, which was really smart. But yeah, my college room and I, I think it happened that, oh, they dared us to kiss, and then we started kissing without them daring us, and then boobs and then other stuff, and it was
Yeah.
great. Um,
Look,
but yeah.
I was there. I was there when I was like 17, 18, and I fucked around with a girl and her mom. I went back and told my boy, and he was like, "You're a fucking swinger." I'm like, "What you call me?" Like I didn't know what it was. I was like, "What you call me?" And he was like, "No, no." He goes, "Relax, man. That's what folks do. That's what it's called." I'm like, "Huh?"
Yeah.
And I'm like in the penny saver looking this shit up, like going to hotel parties and stuff like that. I'm like, I'm going.
Yep.
And then I
Oh
realized that
wow.
the term swinger went to lifestyle and that kind of thing. And that was like old people use the word swinger. So yeah, old people. I don't use the word swinger. But no, I mean like I was doing lifestyle things before I even knew what they really were.
What it
Like
was.
yeah,
Yeah.
I just thought it was just like, oh, it's just a threesome. I didn't know it was like a category of people. It was a community that did these things, there was a safe space to do that stuff. And it's good for sexual health. It really is. um it's truly truly good for you to explore those things. Yeah, especially I will tell you, before you get married, you know some of that stuff you gotta kick off the fuck it list, because you know
Oh
you're not
yeah.
you can't. I was really lucky, because Tammy's, I had a wife before Tammy, and
Mm.
we were lifestyle, and she was the wrong kind of lifestyle. Like she is all I'll put at it. The past, the past, the past. Where Tammy, was never understood it at first. And then as she got into it, she realized, well, I was doing things like this before. She didn't know, like she didn't know it was a thing, a
Not really.
community that,
Oh.
yeah, she always thought, was like, I'm not supposed to talk about these things. Like, I thought this was just random sex. I'm like, well, it is, but it's there's a community for it where
Yeah.
she goes, well, I was always taught I was just a slut. I'm like, no, babe, no. I mean, well, yeah, but no, like, I mean, but it's okay. It's okay. Go be a slut. It's all right.
Right.
And she was just like, this is a whole new world for me. Like when I first saw her, I was like, you can go sleep with a guy. And she's like, are you trying to break up with me? She thought I was trying to like
Wow.
set her up to break up with her. She's like, what? I have consent to go fuck that guy? I'm like, go about it. She goes, aren't you bothered? I'm like, no. I'll be bothered. You come home to me, like, and
Wow.
yeah,
That's
it's
so
like,
cool.
yeah, it's like what? Like no, like that's weird. Like I know some people get jealous. I don't have the green-eyed monster. I do not have it, and no matter what you could try to do to make me jealous, I just don't get jealous.
Really.
Yeah, I just
That's
don't.
great.
I don't know why. I don't know why. Um, I mean, I'm confident in my
Conversion?
relationship. I think I'm confident in my relationship enough to, like, hey, look, if you really don't want to be with me that bad, then you're not going to be with me. And I don't know if I just tell myself in my head that at this point, like, it's like, why do I want to sit here and live with rent-free negativity in my mind? I don't like things having control over me like that.
Yeah.
So I'd rather see the fun in things. Being 45 and still, having a lot of life left to live. All my children are grown; they're adults now. A lot of life left to live, and I don't want to live with any kind of that negativity. So maybe that's
No,
part of
life's too
it.
short.
Oh my goodness, we take every day for granted. It doesn't matter how much you live your life. We take every single moment for granted, by all means. By all
Mhm.
means. Let me see if anybody's commenting. I didn't see anything. Look, Morgan says yes, twin. Uh, you know, Stephen Charles says that
Oh yes.
he says that he's insecure about his stammer. And
Okay.
and I can understand that because it's an insecurity. Rochelle says hello. Elliot says hello. Steven says you're
Oh, hi,
gorgeous.
Elliot.
And
Oh, thank
Marisa says that you look great at the glow party. And Bill's like, people aren't toys, they aren't birthday or anniversary gifts. Oh, that is such a good one. I love that.
you.
I
What was it?
absolutely that people aren't birthday or anniversary gifts. That is,
Oh,
I have never touched that. That is a great comment because
wait,
how many
did Bill
people?
make that? Oh, I guess he
Yeah,
should be on your podcast to talk
well,
about it.
yeah. I mean, he would, but he's just so fucking busy. Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. But no, but in all jokes aside, like how many times have you heard like, yo, it's our anniversary and my wife would love you to play with us.
Yeah,
That's
like,
again, we're talking about cringy. That's fucking cringy. Like, and
yeah,
this ain't yeah,
very.
yeah. So it's like, nah. Oh, and Tammy said, hush it up, Mr. Sullivan. I must have been doing them. She must have said that about the Muffin Man.
Oh,
I'm in deep shit when I get off this bed, boy.
yeah,
So
you are.
I'm just gonna go lock my office door. Thank God there's a sleep chair in here tonight because I'm gonna be in deep shit.
You'll be comfy though.
It better be because it ain't gonna be comfy in there. So, but no, I mean, like I said, it's just it's. I think that this community has so many great things to offer folks. I think that we all have wonderful moments that we can share. And I think that it's important that we all also share the bad moments and not to scare people off, but to learn and to educate. And we all have a responsibility in this because what we do is it's a dangerous game. Let's be real here. What we do is a gamble. You're dealing with human behavior, you're dealing with health, you're dealing with a lot. So, if you're not really transparent and clear and forthcoming, problems arise. And I
Yeah,
mean,
I appreciate it. I appreciate you even asking because I think it's good to hear those things.
I think so. And I think that everyone has a story that needs to be told also. I've been in situations. I'll t- Tammy likes to tell this story because we were at a club years ago and it was a blackout party. And
Mm.
we're sitting on a sofa and sofas were back to back. And this woman, her husband, were having sex on the sofa. I guess she was riding or whatever. And she reaches over and grabs my thigh. Didn't even ask. Didn't even ask. And Tam looked up and look, you know that the redheads have no soul. I saw her soul leave her body in this moment. Tammy literally flicked this bitch on the nose like she was a fucking dog. Bah!
Oh, I kind of love that.
Yeah, she was like, uh-uh. And the one was like, oh, and she was like, well, there was another time we were at the club and we just wanted to go fuck. It was late at the night and all the rooms were booked up and there was two beds in a room. And uh, we go in the room and the couple's like, well, we'll just share the room. We didn't even talk. Like they were sitting on the sofa over there. Like we weren't even talking about hooking up or nothing like that. We were just gonna use the bed. That's all we were gonna do. So poor Tam, she's riding. And and then she starts pushing up on me. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what the fuck is going on? And I'm pushing her back and she's like, oh, I'm like, what's the matter? She goes, she's got her finger up my ass. Yes. Yes. And I said, do you just want to get up? And she goes, absolutely. She goes, this bitch is knuckle deep. Like, I mean, so yeah, I mean,
Wow.
but this is a story. This is the same thing like being transparent. You know, that's not okay. Like looking at it
No.
now, like in that moment, we were just like, let's just get out of here. It's whatever. But that's not okay. Like that kind of behavior should be reprimanded and warned. I mean, we were very new in the lifestyle together at that point. But looking back on it now, that tells a story to people like, don't do that. Like don't do things that first of all, I mean, Tammy don't do anal. Like she don't do that. So to
Yeah.
even, to just reach across because the beds were like in an L, to reach across and do that enough to where Tammy jolted up on top of me and was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And it's just not okay. It's not
No, it's
okay.
not. It's really not.
So, but
Oh, yeah.
well, I mean, that is really much what our night is about. You covered all the bases. You were a good trooper. I didn't stick it to you too bad, I don't think. I think that you covered all your questions and you didn't dodge anything. course, I didn't let you
Well,
dodge
good. I
any.
try not to.
No, I mean, I wasn't gonna let you dodge it anyway. I would have, I would have came a roundabout way to get to still answer my
Would you?
question. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
I absolutely would have. But I mean, but I did warn you. I was like, look, are we good? Am I okay to like stick it to you tonight? And you're like, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
All right, cool, cool. So, is there anything else you want tell anyone about you? Like, do you have any upcoming plans? Any events you're going to? Is there anywhere somebody can see you? If they want to see you, how are you about people reaching out to you in your inbox? Like just some guidelines for people if they do want to connect with you. What do you think of that?
sure. Yeah, you can reach out to me. I'm happy to chat. You can reach out through Messenger, Kourtney
Yep.
LS, or
LS. Yeah, use your
yeah,
Kourtney.
Kourtney LS is
Use her Kourtney. Guys, please use her Kourtney LS. Do not use her vanilla profile. Please be appropriate. I say this all the time. She obviously created the LS profile for a reason to separate these two lives. So please be respectful and reach out to the Kourtney Ellis. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure
Thank
I
you. No,
said
that's
that.
perfect. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Feel free to reach out. I I don't think I really have any crazy plans coming up. Lots of work plans. So if you're coming to a summit, I'll see you there. Uh,
Summit. I don't think I'm
yeah,
gonna see you at the summit, man.
probably not. I don't think so. If you
Right.
are, hi. Say hi to
Hi.
me.
Hey.
Um,
Just
no,
don't grab her
I
ass or her muffin.
yeah, let's not do that. No, I think the thing about the lifestyle that I've really found my home in is and I think why I've mentioned a lot of girls is my girlfriends,
Oh
my
yeah.
friends. Like I the amount of times we hang out and don't play is more than the times we hang out and do play. It's a community and I love them and I feel very fortunate.
I will tell you that Tammy and I have 99.9% of our friends are all lifestyle. We very
Yep.
rarely hang out with vanilla people because at this point, it's really hard to kind of like have conversations with people that are not open-minded anymore. So, and it's really hard for us. Like, why do we want to choose to be around people that are just so shut off? And it's just not for us. I mean, we have vanilla friends, don't get me wrong, that are like family, but literally like 99% of our friends are people, that we've met through the lifestyle. Only because, like I said, we're genuinely authentically who we are. We don't have to, oh, did I say that? Is that, should I
Right.
not said that? We just we're free and we speak freely and I like that. I mean,
Me too.
Greg says I should be canceled. I mean, because he says I'm the friend you don't put on speakerphone. I'm the friend
Oh,
that he was like he calls me the dumpster fire. You know,
oh really?
yeah. Oh my God. Every time I go to some kind of fucking event with Greg, it's some kind of bullshit. Like it's him and I go do something together if I work a gig with him. The one time I went on a gig, a literal dumpster fire happened outside of. We had to vacate the building. He goes, "I've never had a
Wow.
fucking fire before until you came, Brian Sullivan." And then the last time, he had a gig, and they gave us the hotel keys, and the woman gave us the wrong hotel number, right? But she set the key to someone else's room. Fucking opened the door, guy's laying butterball naked in his fucking bed, and I'm like, well, that's the wrong motherfucking room. Right, right. I mean, like he goes, this shit only happens when Brian Sullivan's with me. So he calls me the dumpster fire. So
All right. So I know to be prepared then. Sounds good.
yeah, yeah, so but and Kia says yes, he does. See, he does call me the dump try. And then Jessica Black, she's another person that's been with us since our second event. She's been with us for a very long
Oh,
time. I love
wow.
her and Dave both. You know, she their friends are pretty much all lifestyle people. I mean, because Steven says me and Greg need our own TV show. We actually want to record when we do Beach Week in Ocean City. We actually just want to like simulcast that shit like into the group, like live it all
That's
week
fun.
long. Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. And it's not
Just have little
raunch.
mini pop, little have mini pop-up podcasts. Just pull people over and interview them. I'm sure
Oh
that'll
my
go
God.
over really well.
You talk about a dumpster fire. I don't work, so I'm just fucking acting out.
Oh,
And
really?
oh yeah,
Fun.
yeah, like literally, like people say he's just totally a different person there. He's not who you see at the events. I'm just so totally disconnected from bullshit. And Jessica Black just said, "We love this group." Well, the group loves you too, Jess. I mean, literally, like I said, there's just so many people here that I call my family. I mean, Jessica's my family. Her and Dave are gonna get married. I offered to marry them. I'm an
Mm.
ordained minister, and I would marry them in a minute. Why? Because they mean that much to me. Uh, uh, Although we do have some occasional black screens occasionally during Beach Week. Oh my God. Yeah, there is some shit that happens at Beach Week that we can't have on the internet. So not for me personally, but or bleeps. Well, there's gonna be a lot of bleeps because we do a lot of cursing. And Greg does a lot of yelling. He yells a lot. Like
Mm.
you yell a lot, He was like, "Shut up," But no, maybe we'll do a live feed from like the house party that we're doing. And when we say house party, it's not like it's literally we invite who all is in town to come. We have a big fucking cookout, play music, and just chill out.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
You
I'll have
know,
to check that out. That sounds like such a good time.
look, it literally we pretty much take over Ocean City and get nothing but trouble. We
Yeah.
get nothing but trouble. I mean, literally, and Greg's like, oh, the Uber rides, they're worth a fortune. I fuck with the Uber drivers so bad because I have to sit up front with them because we usually got to get the Uber XL. I get
Yeah.
up front with them and I'll be like, look, all these girls, and he's like, yeah. I was like, we're gonna go back and fuck all of them tonight. You want to come with us? And they're like, really? Yeah, I mean, like we fuck with them so bad, and then the girls are like, oh my God, here we go. And I'm like, and these girls will fuck you up. I was like, they suck dick, taking ass. I mean, I'm just fucking with them the whole time, and just the guys are like, they're like driving all over the road because and these are like older guys or whatever, like, and they're like, what do you all do? And they're like, I'm like, what do you want them to do? And I was like, it's like that's my bodyguard, Greg, in the back. Like, we let guys come in and have their way with him, but he's the bodyguard. You know, they say they had enough, then that's enough. I said, but I've never had to use them because they never have enough. And he was like, and then we'll do all kinds of shit. I mean, we're just fucked up. We're just fucked up. I mean, and look, they're laughing on here now because Kia said it's hilarious. I mean, we'll be at restaurants and shit, and just the hazing of one another just goes on and on. It is literally some of the best time. It really is. I think it's my absolute favorite things with TCB is Beach Week.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So you
Hmm.
got to check it out. Well, I promised you that I would only occupy you an hour. We are coming up on that right now. So I'm going to let you go, but I want to thank you so much for tuning in. You are absolutely wonderful. I think you're absolutely beautiful, and I think you're a great energy, and I think you're going to do really well here in TCB. And if you ever want to come on again when I have an opening, you're more than welcome. Maybe we'll have a BDSM conversation with you after you get your ass paddled a few times. Okay?
Oh, that sounds good to me.
Yeah. I mean, like, hey, you know what would be great? Maybe we'll have a professional dom do a demonstration on you for your first time for a live.
Oh, that sounds like I have had a tasting once to be clear, but that would be it's fun.
Hey, there we go. There we go. Well, Kourtney, thank you so much. You're amazing.
Thank you.
I
Thank
think
you so
you're
much.
absolutely great. And if you need anything, let me know and check back and you'll see yourself online soon. So all right,
All right.
guys.
I appreciate it.
Guys, if you have any questions, go ahead and tag Kourtney here within the live feed so that way she can answer it there. Remember, if you reach out to her, please, please, please reach out to Kourtney LS. Also, don't forget that Greg will be at Malloy's on the 23rd. That is a vanilla bar, so please act right or Greg will make you act tight, and that means he'll be throwing your ass out. Other than that, we got some other stuff coming up. We have in June the Faded Image doc party, and used to be Riverwatch. Now it's Luna Sea. We also have Beach Week after that. We got I've got a post that we have Taboo's anniversary party coming up. Again, there's a lot of stuff coming up. Please keep your eyes peeled. If you guys see like the managers and people posting, please interact with them. Say hello to Miss TCB, say hello to Bailey, say hello to, well, don't say hello to Greg, fuck Greg Bird. And just keep going and just keep going. And if you see Kourtney post, love all over it because there's no reason not to. What do you think of that?
Sounds good.
All right, guys, take it easy. Have a good night, and I will see you guys in a week. Bye.